morning, everybody. Unit 1, Lesson 2, we're going to have a look at menus. First of all, a little bit of background. Wikipedia is going to tell me a menu bar is a graphical control element with drop-down menus, and it will normally give me application-specific information, so it's normally for user options. If I go have a look at the Microsoft Windows menus, it says a menu bar. For Windows, it's normally anchored at the top of the window underneath the title bar. I can access it with some shortcut keys that you can go have a look at on your own. Normally we're going to give a menu to a user if there's many different options to use, and using buttons will just be too crowded on the screen. So if I first of all go have a look at the Windows environment, just explain menus a little bit. Underneath the menus and toolbars, I can find a menu strip object, drag and drop it, leave it on the screen. The actual menu that the user will see appears at the top underneath the title bar is set. At the bottom we've got a non-visual component for the user. Programmers will use this later on, where we can code things. Now if I just use the standard menu available over here, right at the top I've got options. If I click on it, sub options open up. Sometimes the sub option has got more than one different option over here. So we call this thing where all the different menus are situated normally a menu bar. Each option with sub options, so file and new, because new has got sub options, would be a menu. And then a thing that the user can click on, like undo, will be a menu item. So a menu item doesn't have sub options, it's the actual clickable event, the action specified by the user. After I dragged and dropped menus onto the form, I can give them values, exit. So file with exit. If I run this program now, file opens up exit, and this is all that would appear to the user because this is all that I've added so far. If I go add another option, edit, undo, copy, cut, paste, maybe a zoom option, and zoom has got sub options, zoom in and zoom out. And let's say maybe a last big menu, help and about. If I leave that, again run my program, just drag it to this screen. I've got file with exit, edit with undo, copy, cut, paste, zoom with two options, zoom in, zoom out, and help with an about option. Okay, so about, undo, copy, cut, paste, and the zoom in and out, these are called menu items. They're the actual clickable events. I didn't program anything, so currently they can't do anything at all. File, edit, zoom and help, these are menus, and they're all placed on a menu bar, this lightish grey environment that you can see at the back. We need to know a little bit more. There are some standards for menus and for many things in coding. You know some of the standards already. A button has got btn as a prefix. Text box has got txt. When I select a variable name, I choose a descriptive name. These are all standards that we've used so far. There's many more available. There's a document that you can go and read where they discussed VB standards. Sufficient to say, one day when you're going to work as an actual programmer, your company is going to have specific standards as to how to name things. Get into the habit of doing it the right way. Okay, TXT is used all over the world as the prefix for a text box. So, if we go a little bit down to menus, all menus should have a standard menu as a prefix. You can go read through the latter part. But what they explain there is, if I've got a file with a save option, and underneath save I've got two sub options, text and Excel, then call this menu item the full name, menu file save Excel. So to go save to Excel, the menu item is called this full name. If I now go and give a name to, I don't give names to zoom or file or edit, no need, it's same as a label, but zoom in needs a prefix. If I go open up the properties, then menu, this is found in the edit option in the zoom menu, and it is called zoom in. So over here we repeat zoom maybe twice, but it conforms now to the way we should call a menu. Menu, edit, it's in the zoom menu and it's called zoom out. And now when I go click on it, that's exactly the name given to the method that's called. So if I just go and double click on exit, there's a default name given. It's a little bit descriptive, but it's not what we prefer. So go and delete, go back, go to edit, exit, call the menu name, the correct name, file, exit. And now if you go double click on it, we can go and write the code to me.close to close the program, just like that. Okay, so just a little bit of background regarding menus, what they do, how they do their job, etc. If we now go to the set of assignments for this lesson, have a look. There's a new planning document that makes provision for a few different options that I want us to use. Always go have a look at which variables, what's the main steps of the program, and then the detailed steps. Program 11, 12, and 13 then deals with just basic menus. Just adding a menu to a form and allow the user to pick actions using the menu. I'm going to have a look at program 11. So this is a very basic first year program. Allow the user to enter an amount, display the result of the user selected processing, and I need menus to close the application, display a tax of 14%, and then also display what the tax amount of 15% would be, depending on which menu option the user selects. So, if I open planning document B, makes provision for quite a few things. Whatever we don't use, delete that. So, at this stage, you don't have any shared data between the different programs. We'll get to that. There's no functions and procedures. Delete that. I do need menu events, but I don't need any button event planning. So again, delete that. Which program do I have? Program 11. If I've got a nice name, it's good. It's the tax application. Like that. We can leave the form for now because our program has got only one form. This is menu. I'll most probably put it under the tax option, and let's call it calculate 14 for calculating 14% tax. If I have a look at the input variables needed, allow the user to enter an amount, display the result of the user selected processing, either tax of 14 or 15%. So that really means that I need input, let's call it amount, output would be the tax amount, and in this case it would be very good to use a constant value. Tax rate, let's say. And tax rate would always be, for this specific program or menu option, 14%. To calculate the test data, I can do it manually or using Excel. So let's just, for this instance, use it manually. I need to now calculate the tax. So tax of 100, that's rather easy. If I've got 2545.50 times 0.14, it gives me, I think I can copy it here somewhere, but let's just go 356.37. 356.37, and I need the tax for 1,500 times 0.14, 210. Can add that as well. Okay, so the steps, same as always, declare the variable, get the input. In this case, I only need to calculate the tax amount and then display the tax amount. Okay, so these are the general steps, the main steps that my, in this case not button event procedure, but menu item event procedure would need to follow. For any calculation, anything really apart from the declare the variables, get the input and display the tax, I want us to go and add a detailed statement. So tax amount, how would that calculation look? It's amount times tax rate, like that. Okay. By accident, our steps for the 15% program would be very close to this. So for now, I'm just going to copy that, change whatever is needed. And I will need to go and work out new data. So 1,500 times 15%, it's 225. And 2545.5 times 14%, the old tax that we got, mustn't be used. 2545.5 times 1.5, 38178. 38178. So over here I've got all my data that I need. And the only real thing that's different for now would be the 15%. Okay, So next step would be to code the program. This is where I normally stop. I am only interested in the planning part. But it's beginning of the semester and we can have a look at one more coding example as well. Okay, to save a little bit of time, I've got a screen with a text box and a label to give me the amount. I've got a clear button. There we go. And I need the rest. So if I go have a look at the code at this stage, don't have that yet. I've got the purpose, I've switched on the options, and button clear is coded. So if I go add a menu to the application, it's drag and drop. I can see my menu strip at the bottom and the different options. So file with exit can maybe provide, as I said, tax with calculate 14% and calculate 15%, like that. So I need to give everything nice decent names. Go have a look, open the properties, menu, file, exit. Open this property over there as well. Menu, tax, calculate 14, and I've got menu, tax, calculate 15. There we go. Okay, so now the moment that I click on a menu option, I can see the proper name and exit is easy. It's me.close. If I go and open the other two options, just going to do them all at the same time. I've got the 14% and the 15%. So the first thing I need to do is to copy and put the documentation, my comments at the method. I prefer it just before the method. Some companies and some people definitely prefers it in the method. So this again depends on the company that you're going to work for one day, where you choose to add your comments. So for me, whenever I'm going to show you an example, it would be always before the method. And now I just need to go about and code the rest of the statements for us. I've already coded it. I can just copy it and make sure that I've changed all the statements just to save us a little bit of time. So define the variables, get the input or the amount. There we've got it. There's only one statement, calculate the tax amount, and then display the tax amount. Remember, when you're actually going to do the coding, you take one of these steps and code the VB statements. Take the next step, code the appropriate VB statement. If there's quite a few different calculations, I'm just going to copy these. Then we normally separate the input, the calculations, and the output, but we don't have for this program. Okay, so a fairly simple, easy program. The big thing that we need to practice is using the menus. And you guys can go about program 12 and program 13, where program 13 is a little bit more complex with each of the things that's got to happen. Remember to always use a nice standard. So exit appears under file. in the menu structure. Okay, thank you and bye bye.